Coming up soon, Alex. You'll know it when you see it. Whatever happens, keep the show going.
Because in the news, so we're not concerned with the resurgence of our disruptive friends?
Thankfully, they're not strong enough to be a threat. Public opinion was never truly with them, even at their peak.
Don't worry, I'll deal with it. Sarah, we've had a couple of the crew mention seeing suspicious activity in the loading bay. Men in balaclavas or some such.
I'll check it out. I'll come with you. Thanks for letting me know.
Just make sure we're not all about to get blown up, eh?
I think that's unlikely. You can experience a childhood under the old regime. Well, I hope when I take over as the new regular host, things become a little less chaotic.
Sorry, what's that?
15 minutes.
Oh yes, didn't Bozeman tell you I'll be here every night?
No, I missed that meeting. I was at an appointment.
Oh, well. Don't worry, it's not like you're being fired or anything. You'll be culture correspondent or some such, you'll be fine.
I thought I would try, but fate intervened.
Please don't be upset. It's nothing personal. It's just good for the ratings, apparently.
Of course, Prime Minister. 10 seconds. Jenny? I'm on it. Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to the Nightly Show, where I'm joined once again on the Couch of Chat by Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, who's agreed to answer some questions from the public.
They're always my toughest critics, Megan.
Indeed they are. So, first up tonight is a question from one of our elderly viewers, and she's on the line right now. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, what's your name and where do you live?
I'm Florence from Stainsborough.
Hi, Florence. Thank you for calling. You're on with Prime Minister Julia Salisbury.
Do you have a question, Florence?
Yes, I do have a question. Yes, I do have a question.
Okay, would you like to ask that question now?
Oh, yes. Right you are, dear. Prime Minister, with all that hard work on your hands, how does your skin manage to keep that healthy glow?
Oh, bless you. What a lovely question. Oh, well, I suppose with my line of work, there's not a lot of time for a skincare regime, as I believe they call it. So I guess I've just got my mother and father to thank. I suppose I've just got lucky genes.
Lucky jeans? Oh, that's what my Clint calls the denims he was wearing when we first... Well, you know.
Yep, thank you for that question, Florence.
Your Clint sounds like a right one.
Oh, he is. He'll be 44 years married this June, but he still finds the energy twice a week to give me a...
Thank you, Florence, thank you.
I wish I could say the same at her age.
Everyone needs a Clint, eh, Prime Minister?
Or a Clara, perhaps. Megan? Or a Clara.
Let's go to our next questioner tonight. He's calling from right here in the capital. Hi, caller, can you hear me?
Yes.
Caller, can you hear me?
Thank you, Megan. Yes. Just about. It's not a good line.
Well, I think we all know that voice. Good evening, Mr. Donaldson.
Good evening, Prime Minister.
Do you have a question for the Prime Minister, caller?
Several, actually.
Well, maybe it would be better if we tried to get a better line. I could have the station call you back.
Don't worry. I've got a much better idea.
What's going on?
It might be what you call a surprise guest. Our second of the evening. Please welcome Jeremy Donaldson.
On live television.
What can I say? It's good for the ratings, apparently.
This man is a wanted criminal. Where's that CCO, for God's sake?
Don't worry, Prime Minister, I'm not harmed.
Sarah?
She's not here at the moment, Prime Minister. Well, like her the moment she returns. If we can find the keys to the studio doors, that is. Apparently, they've been locked and no one knows where they are.
That's uncharacteristically careless of you, Jenny. You know there's only one way in and out of this studio. The peculiarity of these old buildings.
I'm sure they'll turn up.
Could have you all arrested for this, you know.
Come, Prime Minister, what are you so afraid of? Surely a woman of your stature can withstand a few questions.
For the viewers at home.
Very well. I can't say I'm impressed with this irresponsible stunt, but believe it or not, I used to have a lot of respect for you, Mr. Donaldson.
Is that an attempt to flatter me, Prime Minister?
I'm not. It's true. I've watched you sink your journalistic teeth into the great and powerful. So, out of respect for the man you once were, I'll dance your strange little tango. But I warn you, Mr. Donaldson, you better be nimble on your feet, because you'll only have one chance to tango with me.
Well, let's put on our dancing shoes then, shall we? I'd like to ask you about sterility first, Prime Minister.
Yes, a terrible situation.
Caused in no small part by the actions of your government.
Well, we can't control the weather systems that unfortunately
Unfortunately spread the fallout from your bombs an even layer across the territories.
That's what our scientists say, yes.
Stillbirths at an all-time high, along with babies being born with terminal birth defects, babies that your regime somewhat callously refer to as unviables.
It's just a word, Mr. Donaldson. No need for conspiracy theories.
If you say so. How many unviables have been born since Liberation Night, Prime Minister?
Too many. Way too many. I mean, obviously I don't have the exact figures.
Oh, I believe we do, Prime Minister. Yes, there have in fact been 2,581,280 unviable births since Liberation Night, according to official government figures.
So, 14 million deaths on Liberation Night, and then another 2.5 million infant mortalities, assuming you actually managed to count them all, which, given the limits of bureaucracy, seems extremely unlikely.
I'm sorry, is there a question?
You made a decision one November evening 5 years ago, and as a result of that decision, 16.5 million people are dead. Prime Minister, do you have any regrets at all?
Of course I do, Mr. Donaldson. I regret every grieving family, every life destroyed. I came into politics to help people.
You came into politics to help people. In that case, Prime Minister, where did it all go so horribly wrong?
Well, Mr. Donaldson, Miss Wolfe, I suppose this is where we all have to put on our grown-up trousers, isn't it?
Please do not patronise our audience, Prime Minister.
Why not? That's how they like to be treated. They want a government to keep them safe, happy, equal and free. That's our job, you see, to make a perfect circle out of that impossible square. And if we can do just that one impossible thing, then they don't ask a lot of questions. They're not like you two. They don't want to see how the magic trick's done. They just want to gasp at the miraculous effect.
So it's the public's fault?
So, it's no one's fault. It's just the way things are. You asked me where it all went wrong, but the ugly truth is it never did. I weighed the advantages of action and inaction, and I acted. And without making these tough choices, we would not be where we are today. I believe any decent leader would have done the same.
Any decent leader?
Have you forgotten how things were before the new future? The homelessness, the despair, the billions abandoned to a life of miserable poverty. That's a form of death too. It's just much, much slower and infinitely more pernicious.
Any decent leader?
Yes, any decent leader.
Including Peter Clement?
Peter was my best friend.
Is it true you never told Prime Minister Clement about your plans for liberation? In the weeks that followed, you fought with him repeatedly and passionately, didn't you?
We've spoken to staff from Team HQ who claim to have overheard several
conversations. Yes, we disagreed. Frequently and loudly. That was how we worked. That was why we worked.
Until you didn't?
Yes. Yes, until we realised that we no longer shared the same values.
Values like compassion, Prime Minister.
Dare you? Everything I've done, everything is out of compassion. But sometimes love needs to be tough. And Peter never understood that. That's why I called him my conscience. And now he's gone.
You need a moment, Prime Minister. Perhaps now might be a good time for us to show the viewers at home some footage that has found its way to me. It was filmed in early December, 5 years ago. Jenny, can we have this prepared on screen 4, please?
Yes, Jeremy. We'll need a couple of minutes.
You're right to continue, Prime Minister.
Peter was the heart of advance. People loved him in a way that they've never loved me. They find me cold, emotionless. But I have to be strong. I'm a woman. I can't show tears. I can't show weakness. I can't show this. I would have thought that you would have understood that.
Are you sure you don't need a moment to compose yourself, Prime Minister? I'm sure we can cut away to something about buttons.
This is cruel. Advance are guilty of many things, but we were never cruel.
Well, I think that's up for debate.
Please, just I need a minute. Just point that camera away from me.
I have a question, Prime Minister.
Fine. Fine, just ask your question.
Why are there no tears on your face?
Oh, well played, Miss Wolfe. Well played. That would be the security services. They're here for Mr. Donaldson and to escort me safely out of the building. I very much imagine this will be the last broadcast any of you ever make.
Jeremy, we have to get you out of here now.
Except there's a small army directly outside the door, and I believe there's only one way in or out, due to a peculiarity in the design of these old buildings.
She's played us.
I can't go back to Betterment.
And yet to Betterment you will surely go.
Don't worry, Jeremy, we won't let them take you.
Oh, perhaps you'd like to join him. After all, aiding and abetting an escaped convict is, of course, a crime in itself.
Leave them out. This was my idea.
We're in!
I surrender. There's no need for violence. I have to know. There's no need to rest.
Tango received, ma'am.
There. No serious damage.
The footage. Alex, the footage. You have to play the footage. Don't let it all be in vain.
If you play that footage, Alex, which I have no doubt is illegally obtained, you will be joining Mr. Donaldson in Betterment. Do you have a family, Alex? Perhaps you'd like to think how well they'd cope without you. Take him away.
The footage. Alex, you have to play the footage.
Shut them off! I want this shut down now. I want you to cut Alex Winston off. I don't care how you do it. Just...
What's that? Sorry, Prime Minister, the tannoy seems to be broken.
You duplicitous bitch! That's not fucking good enough!
Peter, you have to understand.
No, you have to understand. 14 million deaths on our hands? It's unthinkable.
And this is exactly why I didn't tell you.
Because you knew I tried fucking stopping you.
You are a bloody liability, Peter. Can't you see that? Drunk or sober, you cannot be trusted.
I'm the fucking co-Prime Minister, Julia, and I'm supposed to be your friend.
Well, maybe you see I had your best interests at heart. This isn't on you, you lucky bastard. You get to sleep at night.
I haven't slept for weeks.
And what would you have done if I had told you what we were planning?
I'd have stopped you. I'd have gone on the fucking news and I'd have exposed you if I had to. But I would have stopped you, and you can be fucking sure of that.
And the whole country would have fucking starved. Well, you agonized over your morals. And we'd all be gone, all our good work, all wiped out.
Good work? Good fucking work? It's been 3 weeks and they're still putting out the fucking fires.
Let's talk about this tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Tomorrow, I am going to be on every news channel in the world telling people what a fucking monster you are.
No, you won't. Tomorrow, you will come back here and you will do your fucking job. Just like I have to.
Well, we'll see, won't we? Jesus, erase your face, fucking Christ. I don't even know who you are anymore.
Get me Adrian at the services. Hello, Adrian. Sorry to bother you so late at night. That thing we discussed, I'm afraid we're going to have to put it into action. Yes, I'm sure. You were right. He is a liability. Thank you. Thank you. Adrian, make it quick. I don't want him to suffer. Let me know when it's done. No paperwork, nothing. No one must ever know. Thank you. You have a good night too.
Do you have any comments for the viewers at home, Prime Minister? I'm sure they have a lot of questions.
It's not what it seems to be.
Isn't it?
It's not what it seems to be.
Because it seems to show you ordering the cold-blooded murder of Peter Clement.
Perhaps you need a bit of betterment to yourself.
Oh, don't you judge me! No, after that stunt you pulled here tonight. You work for me, remember? You work for me, remember?
Not anymore. I quit. Not anymore. I quit. It's about 2 minutes left. You'll need this. It's about 2 minutes left. You'll need this. You can take me away now. I'm done. You can take me away now. I'm done.
Do you have anything to say, Prime Minister? Do you have anything to say, Prime Minister?
You're done. All of you. This programme is cancelled. It's effective immediately. You're all fired. Effective immediately. You're all fired. No. Arrest them all.
I'm not the criminal here. You all saw that footage. You know who should be arrested here.
I am the Prime Minister, and I will do what I always do when I tell you.
No, Julia. No one is. Julia, no one is.
Do your bloody job. Do your bloody job.
There'll be elections now. There'll be elections.
Just you wait.
The people will demand it, won't you? New government, new start, new journalists. Maybe they'll be better than we were. Maybe it will all be better next time. Maybe it will all be better next time. Take me away now. 50 seconds, Prime Minister. Can't leave any dead air. That's a crime too. That's a crime too.
45 seconds. What can be said in 45 seconds in a soundbite, a headline? How do you convey the shades of grey when there's only enough airtime for crass blacks and whites? And even if I could, would you watch? Would you change channel? Look for something more exciting, less boring than the news. And if that really is what you do, is this really all my fault? Or could this, in some profound, incredibly complex way, also be yours? My name is Julia Salisbury, and I will make tomorrow better.
7 years ago, you decided you wanted radical change.
In a landslide, you elected Advance.
We've been through a lot since then. Secret diary, and I leafed through so
Good evening, I'm Patrick Bannon, and this is your Daily News Bulletin. Our top stories tonight. Former Prime Minister Julia Salisbury took to the witness stand on the first day of her high-profile trial. The disgraced politician faces charges of conspiracy to commit murder, human rights violations and war crimes in relation to the events of so-called Liberation Night. If found guilty, she faces life imprisonment. Meanwhile, as the first election in nearly 8 years are just weeks away, Advance announced their new leader will be respected economist Katie Brightman. As Brightman pulled ahead in the polls today, the New Look Advance Party vowed to restore territorial independence and to embody sensible, sensitive leadership and accountability. And later tonight, I'll be asking a hat maker what's his favourite hat and why.